Week 5 Eagles versus Rams. Can the Birds stay undefeated, or could they potentially be in for an upset? Today we'll go over the latest injury updates, break down the keys to the game, and much more right here on the show. What is up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly. You know the drill. Hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe. Give me all of your thoughts down in the comment section. Appreciate everybody who has been along for the ride as we continue to grow this channel to the masses. The Eagles looking to stay undefeated. Last time they were 5-0 last year. Can they go 5-0 again? They're going to LA to face the LA Rams, who are 2-2 on the season. Give me your final score predictions down below in the comments section. Let's talk about this game, man. So I want to quickly go over the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles. Here is the latest. Fletcher did not practice. By the way, this is yesterday's report. At the time of recording this here on Friday, we do not have the final injury report, but Fletcher is going to be out. He had an epidural this week, so he'll be gone. Cam Jurgens most likely will be out. I think he'll be gone for a couple weeks as well. And then the rest of the guys are just wait and see. You know, Tui Pelotu, hopefully Sidney Brown could return. That would be huge, but I don't know about that. Covey was in concussion protocol, and we'll see about Evans and Quez. But other than that, man, the biggest news is on the other side, actually, because Cupp is expected to play versus the Eagles. He's finally off IR, and if there's no setbacks, he will be back suiting up. That is going to completely change the dynamic of this game, and we'll talk more in terms of the intricacies, in terms of how that will impact it all. Also, one other quick update from ESP here on Twitter. Nick Sirianni said that the Eagles already like what they've seen from Bradley Roby. He has been practicing. They just signed him a couple days ago. It's going to be big to utilize a slot corner that can produce in this game. Not saying that Josh Jobe can. I do think he'll get snaps, but whoever is there, maybe they move some of these guys around. They're going to have to show up and show up big time. But what is your main key to the game? What is your top thing that you'll be looking for on Sunday's matchup? Give me your thoughts down below. And before we jump into all of it, a shout out to our sponsor here of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using the code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today. Download the app. Use the code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Can we go for the hat trick, man? The last couple weeks, what have I said? Here on this preview, I said, take the lock, AJ on the over, 74.5 right now. I'm taking that over all day, every day, any day that ends in Y. 135 plus the last 2 weeks, $175 last week against the Commanders. Give me AJ Brown on the over. That is my lock of the week. All right, let's talk about Eagles and Rams. Let's talk about this game. What are the biggest things to look out for? Well, you look at the LA Rams, right? And so far, like I said, they are 2-2, and they come into this week, and here are the amount of points that they have scored each and every week, right? 30, 23, 16, and 23. They had a big win against Seattle in week 1. They fell to the Niners, did keep it close, but, you know, they've been back and forth. They've been inconsistent. However, when you look at their team, they do have a lot of talent, in my opinion, and I am just going to keep it real, as I always do. I think this is a game that could cause a little concern. I'm not saying I think the Birds will lose, but it is going to be tight, in my opinion. It's going to be close. Could be a sneaky one down to the fourth quarter. Could be one of those Jake Elliott game winner type of games where, you know, he kicks a 51-yarder to knock it through and seal the dub. I think it could be like a 27-24 game. And the reason I think that is because of what we talked about. Kupp coming back is going to completely change this game. And right now, the Eagles defense, especially the secondary, hasn't shown me that I should have 100% trust in them. Sean Desai has to be creative the way that he allowed the Commanders to come back last week. By the way, Commanders lost last night. They gave up 40 to the Bears. They are not a good team. They've lost 3 in a row, and Sean Desai almost choked the game to them last week. I need to see a lot more to have full trust in this Eagles defense. They obviously have the talent, but they need to apply the pressure. Matt Stafford is a guy who has seen everything at this point. He's experienced. He's a vet. He's a Super Bowl champ. You cannot come into this game with one strict game plan and try to run it until it fails, or dies. Like, no, you have to switch things up. You have to show him different looks. And really what scares me about this game is the dynamic duo of not only Puka Nacua, but now Cooper Kupp, right? First off, let's talk about Cooper Kupp, right? We know what he is, right? He can give you 1,500, 1,800 yards a year. You can line him up anywhere. He's fast. He's speedy. He's elusive. He's hard to catch, great hands, etc. We know who Cooper Kupp is, and they're going to try to get him in a rhythm quick, coming off of injury, first game of the year. He's going to be fired up in front of the home crowd. Okay, we got that. But Puka Nacua, right? 5 weeks ago, who the heck is this guy? 5th round pick out of BYU. Nobody really knows who he is. He has been the best story of the NFL thus far. He is currently 2nd in receiving yards with 501 in 4 games. He is currently 1st in catches. Will some of those numbers dip down with Cooper Kupp returning? Absolutely. But Matt Stafford right now, he's 2nd in the league in passing yards. Like I said, we know what he is. He can be a weapon at any time given the right weapons around him. There were a lot of concerns with the elbow injury. Right now, Matt Stafford has 2 big weapons. And last week, for example, he utilized Tyler Higbee as his best weapon, which is a tight end. Eagles linebackers are going to have to be key in this game. Nick Morrow has been playing out of his mind. 3 sacks last week, and him and Zach Cunningham also hold their own, in that first line of defense, because I think that the Rams are going to try to get the ball out quick. Matt Stafford has been pressured a lot. He only has been hit with 9 sacks, but he has seen a lot of pressure. So the Eagles are going to have to rely on these guys up front. And with Fletcher Cox being out, let's be honest, Fletcher's been a menace so far in 4 weeks. And they're going to need production, not only from Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, but they're going to need the guys on the edge to really step up. If they can have one of those impact games and finally, collectively have that breakout game with Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick, even BG and maybe Nolan Smith, and they can get to Stafford and put him on the ground because he's not mobile, right? If you can get to Stafford and throw different looks and make him uncomfortable, I think this Eagles team will have a lot of success. Slay's going to have to hold his own. He has not been sharp this far, but Bradbury, is going to have to perform as well. I just think overall, the Eagles are going to have to come in and shut down the Rams on some of these early drives. You look at the Rams, and again, they've been inconsistent. I feel like they have these stretches during their games where they heat up. They can put up 10 points in the matter of minutes, but then they also get very cold. So the thing that I'm most worried about is them lining up these two in different spots. I went back and watched some of them. Puka Nacua, you can line him up on the outside, the slot. One thing I noticed, he just runs really sharp routes. He catches the ball well, sees it well, good hand-eye coordination, and you got to be able to tackle him. That's another thing. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, you cannot let them run for yards after catch. You have to get these guys down. Rams, in my opinion, don't really have much of a running game. So if you can keep Stafford on the ground, and obviously, again, he's not too mobile, you can have success in this game. Maybe force an early turnover. I think that would be huge. But on the Philadelphia Eagles side, we saw Jalen Hurts start to put it together a lot more last week. Still not there yet. But if the Eagles can finally have a game where they put it together in all facets, obviously they're the better team. I still expect the Eagles to win this. I just think it's going to be a little bit closer until they show me that they can dominate in all facets, right? You got to get Swift going early again. But A.J. Brown has been an absolute menace, $135 the last 2 weeks. I say just keep feeding A.J. You look at these Rams corners, they've only given up one touchdown all season to wide receivers. They have been pretty sharp. Devontae Smith had, upwards of 78, 79 yards last week. Him, A.J. Brown, and how about getting Goddard utilized, right? That Nick Sirianni talked last week after the game, said, Goddard's still in our game plan. We have to get him going. If you can get that trio going, I don't see a way that the Rams are going to be able to stop it. And, the Eagles have them beat in the trenches on both sides, right? The offensive line is much better. The Rams, like I said, have had trouble pass protecting, but, even on the defensive line, the Rams have one of the best players ever in Aaron Donald, but other than him, who else are they looking at, right? If you can help Sua Opeta and alleviate some of that pressure, right, and maybe double protect and, just keep Aaron Donald away from Jalen Hurts, and even if Jalen could tuck it and run a couple times, just keep that defense off balance, I think the Eagles will benefit a lot in this game. I think they have them beat in the trenches, which is really the identity of this football team. And again, I think the main matchup is going to be A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith versus Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. If the Eagles can win these matchups, and if Jalen can get it out quick, again, I hope Brian Johnson comes in here with a solid game plan. I hope the Eagles can accumulate, a couple big touchdowns in the first couple quarters, put the pressure on, right? And when they get that lead like they have, you can't let Stafford just start dinking and dunking and coming down the field so easily, and get to your guys and score so effortlessly, right? The Eagles need to put the pressure on. I don't know what to expect because, again, the Rams have been inconsistent, but the Eagles are 4-0. It doesn't feel like they finally have put it all together. If they can do that this week, there's no reason the talent shouldn't outweigh everything, and the Eagles should go win this game. But those are just all my thoughts. I want to hear from you. Chime into the conversation. Drop your score prediction. What's your main key to this game? And who's your X factor this week? Give me all your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.